Hey everyone, how's it going? Today we're going to take a walk to Emdaabiimok. So let's lock in. Okay, so here we go. This is like a older neighborhood in Toronto. I don't know, sometimes people call it Leslieville. Sometimes people call it the Gerard Greenwood neighborhood. Back in the day, if you were here like 50 years ago, it was pretty much known as the place where the racetrack is, because that's really what was the dominant feature in this area, was Woodbine Racetrack. If you've ever been to Woodbine Racetrack out in Rexdale, might have occurred to you that it's nowhere close to Woodbine Avenue. So today we're going to try and go for a 30-minute walk. 15 minutes out, 15 minutes back. And gosh, it's a pretty beautiful day. Can you believe it's October the 6th? It's about 20 degrees out. And I'm testing out my wide-angle lens on my DJI Osmo Pro 3. So I'm just crossing the street here. Let's see how this goes. And I'm going to take you to a really cool street in the neighborhood. Not this street, although it is a cool street in the neighborhood. And there's definitely a story to this one. But let's take a walk down Craven Road. And see what we can see. So this here is Craven Road. And I mean, to me, the thing that most stands out about Craven Road is, look at this. First of all, you can hear the cardinal chirping in the background, but why does it have a wooden fence on one side of the road? Well, I will tell you, and if you look on the other side, you can see the houses are a little bit modest. A lot of them are these one-story bungalows, which originally, when the original settlers came in and built them, they would actually build the basement in 1 year, dig out a basement, and survive underground for a year until they got the resources together to build a house above it. And this is one of those typical Craven Avenue type homes. And where I am right now, at one point in time, was the edge of the city. There's a Steelers fan. Where I am right now was at one time, like, right at the edge of the city. And this was actually the outskirts of the city, Craven Road. And there wasn't a road here, just a sort of a footpath. And people who lived here were not of great means. And if you looked over there at fancy Ashdale Avenue, the people who lived on that street, oh, they were fancy. And they didn't want these scrubbery maids walking through their yards. So you know what they did? Basically made it so that people couldn't access Ashdale Avenue off of Craven Avenue. And then World War I came along. And as a result of World War I, Craven Avenue was all of a sudden filled with war widows. And for the first time ever, they had ready cash. And you know what they did? They incorporated. They built the streets. They built the road, I should say. Got it paved, got it incorporated into the city. And one other thing they did is once they built it, they built that fence there. And the reason why they built that fence is the city has passed an ordinance. People from Craven Road can't go onto Ashdale. Forget that. People from Ashdale are not allowed any access to Craven Road. And that fence is there and it's by law. People will buy houses on Ashdale and think, I'll just blow out the back and have a nice little parking pad. No. City ordinance says, no, let's take this alleyway. So this is an alleyway just north of Queen Street East. Very typical of Toronto. Oh, also, let me just tell you, Craven Avenue was known as Erie Terrace because E-R-I-E, because it was mostly Irish people who lived there. But they changed it to Craven, and I'm not sure why. Here we are coming up to Queen Street. Now, this whole thing here is all a new housing development. And I'm actually going to try and walk through it for the first time. I wonder if I'll be able to. I'm going to wait to cross the street. There's a streetcar. Can't have Toronto without a streetcar. Actually, I'm going to walk up. Oh, it looks like there's a little bit of a break in the traffic. Let me jaywalk. Check it out. A brand new area. Now here's something that's interesting. At one point in time, Queen Street was... Oh wait, we're gonna go over here. At one point in time, Queen Street was the edge of the city. Like if you went south of Queen Street going in this direction here, it was all sand flats and marshes and great places for wildlife, but not great for development. A lot of that swampland got filled in. So here I am on Queen Street East. Coming up to my magic mushroom store. It's not my magic mushroom store. I wonder how things will go with these choices we are making in society. I'm not here to comment on that. I'm going to get back onto this. Now look at this street. If you look over on one side, it says Coxwell. Boom. But it's not Coxwell, because on one side of the street is Coxwell. On the other side of the street, it's Emdaabiimok, which means where the road meets the water. So here we are. Now why is it Coxwell over there and Emdaabiimok here? Well, I've got an answer for that. Because until 1917, this street I'm on had no name. And the reason why is because it kind of wasn't really a street. Now I'm going to question this little section I'm on. Was this ever Coxwell? Because basically, remember, the city ended at Queen, and it was all sort of marsh going past. So here we go. And this area here where I'm coming up to was a marsh. So there was really nothing here. And then after it was a marsh, they built a racetrack. So when I was a kid, over this way, racetrack. And it was Woodbine Raceway. Now it's a park. And sometimes people will come, they're like, how come there's all horse names for everything around here? And that's because it used to be a racetrack. But now it's a really beautiful park, and one day we're gonna do that whole park, but not today. Today we're gonna just go down Emdaabiimok. Now, the direction I'm facing here is the sewage treatment plant. Can you believe till about 1910, Toronto just dumped its sewage into Lake Ontario? That's nice. And actually every river valley, every creek, it was really just a garbage dump. And so even down this street here, Emdaabiimok, it was a little creek that ran into the river. It was horribly, horribly polluted. So what did they do? They put the creek underwater. And that's what they did. Now here we are coming down. And what do we have in this direction? We're walking down Emdaabiimok. It's funny because they actually changed this name to Lower Coxwell about 8 years ago, and then they changed it again in the spirit of truth and reconciliation, but they weren't supposed to be allowed to change it, but then they did change it. We have an encampment that's built up over here. That's new. And up in here, pretty cool area. Not sure what's gonna happen here. Let's see. What? Check out what's coming. There's gonna be a pickleball court complex here. That's gonna be awesome. And there's already a really nice basketball court, which we're gonna go by. Talk about some of the amenities around here. So, nice, beautiful street here. It really is a nice sunny day. Days like this make me feel everything's a-okay. Or is that Sesame Street? I hope Sesame Street finds a home. Now here is the Toronto Water Pumping Station. So everywhere, all underneath here is all sewage pipes. It's the sewage treatment center, and it's getting a major rehab. Over in the distance there is the skate park. Definitely gonna wanna show you my skills. And right here I am stepping out onto the Beaches rugby field. Actually, I just got a whiff of sewage. I wonder why. One of the reasons why the East End was less popular than the West End was because of the sewage treatment plant in the East End. Now, why would you build a sewage treatment plant in the East End? Well, here's something I've learned. Prevailing winds go from west towards east. So, look at the Beaches rugby field. It's nice. I'm going to score a try. I'm scoring a try right now. It's very exciting. But prevailing wind blows from west to east. And that means that all the stinky factories and everything, they're going to blow their stink towards the east. So the east end of the city is the stinky end of the city. And hence you have the East End boys trying to get with those fancy West End girls. And it makes sense that the East End would be a logical choice for that. Even in the distance, we have this garbage incinerator. So yeah, stinky East End. It's still the best end though. Love this part of the city. All right, that's the old Beaches Rugby by that fence there. But they've redone that whole field there, that cool looking space age building, which I like to think of as the Toronto Space Center. It's actually a sewage treatment plant. I wonder what's going on inside there. Goals to go there one day. Goals! This is the original sewage treatment plant building coming up here, and it looks also like super, super wicked. There is a monarch butterfly. I'm gonna follow you for a bit. I love you, monarch butterfly. I know it sounds a little corny, but I genuinely do. I'm so happy to see you. Go back. Make more babies this winter. Survive another season. Okay. I always thought these trees up over here very cool. And check out this basketball court. And definitely try this one out a little bit later today. See what the floor's like. Not the floor, but what do you call it? The surface? I mean, you call it a floor in a gym. Do you call it a floor when you're outside? You call it a surface. The ground. But as you can see, it's colorful. So pickleball courts. I'm gonna have to it's painted, but it's really nice. The hoops are nice. They still have the nets on them. To be honest, I don't think there's a sweeter sound in life than the sound of the basketball going through the hoop. Love this area in here. And coming up is an area that always floods in the winter. So just so you know, you get floods up here. I love how these trees all lie down. Makes a good spot for camping as well. I wish people well. And I hope everyone finds a better place. Although, I mean, I guess camping like that is all right. You have freedom. But again, we need to find a better way to connect everyone to better housing and better services. This is something. And you know what? Maybe call me crazy on this beautiful sunny day. I believe things can get better. What's the point of not believing things can get better? Really? I mean, okay, you're realistic, but you know what? Both of us could be right. At the end of the day, I'm going to believe things can get better and work towards it. Because if I believe things can't get better, well, what's going to happen? It won't get better. I'll be right. Yay. Check this out. The main drainage pumping station. I love the old days when you couldn't, U's were not allowed back then. I think it's because it was easier to engrave a V than a U. Well, not that much easier. Okie dokie. So some seriously awesome looking stuff over there at Emdaabiimok Park. I'm gonna call it Emdaabiimok Park. And this is the building from this side. Not gonna lie, looks quite impressive. I don't know if anyone's living there yet. Well, it kind of looks like somebody's got some lights up there. Very impressive. You know what's also really impressive? They've put a light in here. And TBH, this was like the death trap. You have these curves here. We have large trucks coming along. You can't see who's coming. You can't see ahead. There's a bit of a hill as well, which like adds to the difficulty of the sight lines. And then everyone's trying to cross the street to go to McDonald's. So this light here is a welcome addition to the neighborhood. I'm gonna try and get home fast. I'm gonna try and walk extra fast walking home just to get my heart rate up. So if you hear me breathing hard, that's gonna be why. Just waiting for the light to change. Whew. I smell a skunk now. He's gone. Oh, lights. Greenish. It's the walking guy. And here we go. Got a nice McDonald's, we got a nice park. I mean, this park is great. It's got like a splash pad, tennis courts. Just overall, really solid. And there's the McDonald's. That looks like a golden arch, but it also looks like a French fry. I believe those were the original golden arches. That's what we think of the golden arches as being the M. But I think the original golden arches was that sign. And not that sign, but that sort of French fry up there. Oh gosh, we're gonna have some beauty fall walks, eh? So that's gonna be pretty nice. Looking forward to that. Look how big the leaves are on a chestnut tree. Oh my gosh, they're gigantic. Yeah, maybe that's not a chestnut tree. I think it's a chestnut tree. And I'm picking up the pace a little bit. I'm swinging my arms. Wonder if you can see me swinging my arms in the shadow. Hey, it's me. Hey. Okay. Oh. Don't want to get hit by the car. And here we are back at Queen Street. Does your city have streetcars? My city has streetcars. Some people hate them. I like streetcars. People hate them because they slow down the traffic. And to be real, like they're not like the fastest mode of transportation, but they look cool. Those are what I would call the new streetcars, but anyone who's like younger than me would just think of them as streetcars. The older streetcars were shorter. Okie dokie. Let's keep walking along. Finish strong, children. If you're watching this on a treadmill, now's the time to really finish strong. Get your knees up. Swing your arms. I'm breathing, but I can still talk. What zone am I in? I'm in a zone. Answer in the comments below. I'm not gonna lie, like, I guess everyone, well, hopefully you like where you're from. I really like where I'm from. This is the east end of the city. Some people may call it the least end, but I think it's the beast end. And what other neighborhood provides you the opportunity to do your washing on the street? Beautiful flowers we're walking through. And just generally really beautiful weather. Hey. Whew. Coming up on towards the end of our walk. Oops. Here you go. Now, I don't want to say anything exactly, but we are coming close to the childhood home of sprinter Aaron Brown, who's well known to me because he lived close to me, but he's also a gold medal winning sprinter. And he was a member of what I believe is the greatest team ever in Canadian history. And that's the 4x100 men's relay team. And that's a hill I'm gonna die on. Absolutely love those guys, how they run, how they represent Canada, how they win. But even when they don't win, they do it in the best and most positive way. Love those guys. All right. Whew. 1 minute left, almost time to go. Finish strong. Swing your arms, children. Lift those knees. I'll be honest with you, I'm not really lifting my knees. I could have done better in that area. Next time, right? Well, thank you so much for walking with me. And I'm gonna pretty much say my goodbyes. So here we go. Bye, everyone. Thanks for walking with me. Walk with me again soon, all right? Peace out.